My name is Bridgett, and I represent Mtech, the tech division of Mplus Group. Our focus is on integrating solutions for customer experiences through advanced AI-driven technology. This meeting will be recorded and can be viewed later. Today, we're excited to dive into the world of AI-enhanced retail customer experiences. But before we dive in, I want to introduce my colleague, the tech guru himself in this AI-driven customer experience world, Viktor Gajodi. Hi, Viktor.
Hi, Bridget. Thank you very much for the introduction. So, well, I'm really happy to be here. So, a little bit about me. So, I'm in the customer support industry for the last 25 years, always being on the tech side. And I came on board of Mtech, Mplus, during the last 3 years. Before that, I founded various tech companies, and the latest one being acquired by Mplus. And yeah, so it's really been my pleasure for the to be on this ride, and especially showing a little bit about where we are, what do we think about AI, their advances, their application in the customer support industry.
Well, let's talk about today's agenda. We're going to be exploring challenges faced by the retail industry and how AI-driven technology can address those challenges. By the end of the session, we'll address specific pain points through a question and answer session, and you'll gain practical insights and strategies to enhance your retail efforts. Since we're joined by our tech guru today, it's a great opportunity to ask some questions. Viktor, everyone is talking about technology, especially AI. So I want to ask for your insights on where you think AI is going to be headed in the near future for customer experiences.
Well, these are really exciting times that we have today. So I think with the recent enhancements during the last 1.5, 2 years, uh, a lot of actually the whole industry itself is being put on its head. So a lot of technology is appearing. Uh, Really, I think. The best enhancements or the best applications of all of the AI can be seen in really in this customer support industry, and yeah, there's just immense opportunities to improve and automate the interactions between the customers and the brands. So what we see as some of the major things where improvements can be done, of course, with the latest advancements in generative AI and large language models, is that the language barriers themselves can be broken, and we can also yeah, so things for which we needed to educate and train agents for really long time can be shortened. We also see the possibility with the agent overload being also leveled across various skills of the workforce itself, and I'm sure that the customer satisfaction, the major KPI for brands and contact centers can also be increased immensely.
Well, you mentioned about the challenges of language barriers in customer service. So, across industries, communication breakdowns are due to language differences and it hinders effective support interactions. So, Viktor, how is this impacting customer satisfaction and loyalty?
Oh, well, so the most important thing is, and I come also with an example from, well, a personal example. So whenever I call customer support, I would be ready to get help from technology in order to get somebody faster online. So things that we see also happening in the personal travel industry, where people until now maybe had problems to actually communicate. So I think all those technologies which are now coming into the mainstream are even better accessible in the customer service industry itself. So what we started experimenting with for the last 1 year is to try to make the translation possibility as well available on the real time, not just through written channels, but also directly in voice. So this is something which can really enhance the communication, and I think I personally would prefer to speak to somebody, even having maybe a little bit of a delay or help with technology, rather than waiting for the right person with the right language skills. So this is something that is changing, and this is something that is revolutionizing somehow the industry in such way that we will be able to blend across the workforce itself, even when you talk about such a basic skill such as language.
Well, I think Buzzeasy fixes these challenges head on, right? Can you walk us through how Buzzeasy's real-time translation tackles language barriers for smoother customer interactions?
Yeah, sure. So I will walk you through it. So just as I mentioned, so if a customer calls in, so I think the first thing that an IVR is asking the customer what language that person speaks to, or alternatively, there are various numbers published which are actually identifying the language of the customer. And usually in a normal contact center, what we do is that the first thing we do is we try to differentiate the agents by their language skill. So it's something that I think that's the first thing in all of the IVRs that you hear. If you speak English, press this. If you speak the local language, press 2. So it's the basic skill. And if we can just break that down, so I think we are changing the whole concept of how communications are happening. So we can still have the choice of the customers to express their preference of language, and that is absolutely going to stay also for the future. But we can also offer the option. So if we see that for a certain language, for a certain specific, maybe a smaller pool language, we have an influx of demand, we can actually offer to those customers until now we could only offer the alternative. Well, would you also opt in for let's say English language support? But alternatively, we can also opt in and say, would you accept the help of a digital assistant? So basically, somebody an automated service, an automated bot who will actually translate the conversation between the customer and the agent. So this is what we have engineered, and even this technology for translating written communication has been around and has been used in contact centers even before. But moving this also to the voice level, and also making it available with a really acceptable delay was the problem until now. But so now with the technologies of large language models, and also combining three different technologies. So once the speech being broken down to actually to text itself, and then the text itself being translated, and then again the translated text being converted to speech, is three different technologies that have come along in the past 1 or 2 years really immensely. And so we coupled these three technologies one after each other, and basically managed to decrease the time from after which the customer has voiced their question to actually to the time that question translated is already being streamed to the agent to less than a second. So basically not a noticeable delay at all. Of course, there is an experience that is that somehow needs to be communicated to customer, because of course you can do this in two ways. So you can opt in to have a digital digital bot always in the conversation, so both the customer and the agent hear always the other language when it's being translated. So that is one use case. It is possible to do it that way. And the other use case is to actually have the customer and the agent never really hear each other. So they will always be just being speaking with the bot, and the bot always does the translation to always the language of the that the individual person is skill is. So that is the alternative version. So we tested both we tested and used both in various use cases, and we have seen a really great adaptation from customers and also agents in this scenario. So one thing is, if you don't hear the customer, sometimes even the agent will be able to a little bit speak more freely. So it's also a possibility. It's the same thing when we are chatting. We are chatting a little bit more freely. So a lot of our habits will change in this way as well. So I think these kind of technologies, adaptations of this kind of technology, will be expanding and being implemented in the next few months or a few years immensely throughout our industry. So maybe I've spoken now a lot, and I want to actually show a little bit of a demo about the technology, how it works in real time. So I recorded the video because it is really difficult to demonstrate such a real-time live translation. So the way I've recorded it, and we created also an application which is which has actually no physical use in a real-time environment, but for demo purposes at least people will be able to understand what is really happening. So what I will be showing is a screen broken down in through three columns. On the left side, we will have the customer calling in, and we will just script the conversation itself. So whatever the customer is speaking, we will script it. And then on the right side, we will have the agent. So the agent's communication also scripted in text format. And in the middle, we'll see just the translation being happening. So that's why I said there's three components to this story. So I will try to visually show this process actually happening, and then not leave it up to your imagination. So let me shoot for a video. You ready, Bridgett?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, sorry. Well, I should first share my screen. That would help. All right. I'll share my screen. I'll share the sound as well. And then let's run it. So while I'll demonstrate it, I'll be as well stopping it to give you a little bit more background of what's happening.
Diesem Anruf wird eine automatische Übersetzung zwischen Ihnen und dem Agenten verwendet. Hallo?
Okay, so just a quick background on this one. So the first thing is what I mentioned, so which is really important. It's a cultural thing. We do want, just as when we do the recording, we when we started this conversation as well, or this webinar, we must, or we should inform the customer and make him opt in or opt out of a digital translation service. So that's what happened here. The customer is speaking in German in this case, and before actually starting with the technology, we made a notification that we are using a live translation service, and that there may be a little bit longer delays between the question and the answer being responded to. So we ask for a little bit patience from the customer, and of course the opt-in to use the technology. So right now I'll continue the demo itself, and there we see over here the customer posting his question.
Ich habe vor kurzem ein intelligentes Thermostat in Ihrem Geschäft gekauft, aber ich kann es nicht mit meinem Heim-Wifi verbinden. Können Sie mir helfen?
Hi, I recently bought a smart thermostat from their store, but I can't connect it to my home Wi-Fi. Can you help me?
All right, so this is what you see here. So the problem is, as you heard, the customer bought a smart thermostat and has some problem connecting it to the wireless network at home. And so in the middle you see, so if you first see the speech to text itself being the text being compiled in German, then we have the intermediate English translation, and then just again for visual demonstration purposes, we see on the right side and also here. So what can be heard here is already the text to speech that is being presented from the translation itself. And so we go on and let the agent speak.
Good day. I'm Mia, your customer support agent. I understand you're having trouble connecting your smart thermostat to Wi-Fi. Let's get this resolved for you.
Guten Tag. Ich bin hier Ihr Kundenbetreuer. Ich verstehe, dass Sie Probleme haben, Ihr intelligentes Thermostat mit Wi-Fi zu verbinden. Lassen Sie uns das für Sie lösen.
All right, I'll stop it here. So it's actually a conversation which goes back and forth, demonstrating the technology. But I guess you understand now what I was speaking about. So the bot is helping in this case in the middle to do the translation via voice. There is of course a little bit of a delay because basically the request is in this case said twice, once in German and then of course once in English for the agent, and also the other way around when the conversation comes back. But in a real-time scenario, this is totally acceptable. And me personally, getting help immediately by somebody speaking my language would be definitely a priority to just waiting in the queue, waiting for a call back, or not getting help at all. What do you think about this, Bridgett?
This is my favorite part of Buzzeasy. You talked a little bit about a delay. I don't see that much of a delay compared to other services, but let's talk about in today's fast-paced world, the demand for quick and accurate solutions is higher than ever. So talk to us about a sector-specific challenge or a negative scenario and show us how Buzzeasy's AI Copilot supports agents effectively.
All right, so this is one of my second favorite topics. That's why I put it on the second place. But yeah, absolutely. So Copilot, many big tech companies talking about Copilot. Maybe Microsoft actually spearheading it, and that's where the term is also coming from. So we are getting in various technologies the support from AI being built in, and AI is trying to help us to do our job faster, more efficient, maybe doing those things that that AI can do better. Why not let AI do that? I mean, well, at least I can maybe spend some more time with my kids. Well, I wish. But it definitely will let us do more things, if we concentrate on that. So what we did as well is the next thing to actually build AI scenarios which work alongside the agent and basically provide constant and support throughout the interaction with the customer. So this can range really from a digital conversation to a voice conversation, or even an email conversation, where we just have somebody. Well, in a contact center scenario, this was really the case. Initially, you would have a supervisor sitting next to you, having also a headset on their head, and then trying to coach you and make sure that you feel comfortable throughout the initial training process. So why not have always somebody there, an AI who is always there that you can ask for, and basically not such a luxury of having another person always sitting next to you who is proficient at least in some skills. Yeah. So I think this is also the here and now. So it's not about the future. It is just something that we must use. We must embed into our products, and we must constantly enhance it to make sure that it is capable to support us in the exact specific time when we actually need it. And what we've done, we added next to the communication channel, which is the basic communication place that where the interaction with the customers are happening, we built bolted next to it a channel, like it's actually a kind of like a chat channel where we can chat with the AI itself. So it operates just the same way that we have seen it in the other technologies happening as well. So you are able to chat with the AI and ask for help. And in the background, of course, what we can do, so we have also coupled this with the AI Studio, another product of ours, with which it is really easy to build AI solutions. So you can actually build AI solutions by dragging and dropping elements and really low code with a low code, no code solution, put together a flow that you attach to a knowledge base, and then make sure that the AI finds the solution or next best step for you. And so really coupling all those technologies that until now needed to be scripted. So until now we also had kind of like a script support for the agents, and we would have actually to script each individual flow and to go and guide the agents to the problem resolution itself. But now with a large language model, we are capable to actually extract all the relevant information which are senseful for the resolution of the problem, and let AI always put together the next best step and not really script the entire flow itself. So when I mention script, so you would actually have to in the past times, or we still have these solutions. Sometimes they can be maybe even the right way to progress, but you would actually have to script ask the customer this, and then you would ask the customer that. Did the customer answer this or that or that? And then depending on what the answer was, you click on next, and then again the next question would come up. So it's really like an IVR for the agent, what you had until now, but make the agent just be guided through it. And this was help again for the agent to make sure that the information was consistent. You just have to modify it in a single place, and always and the agent also is more comfortable, so you don't need so much training, but you can actually let him to do the job by being supported with a script. So, and again, so that's why I said, so the Copilot is scripting level, I don't know, 5, so really jumping so much, so many steps to support the agents with the relevant information. And again, so the technologies that came forth and really just made it possible to reuse all of those knowledge bases that we have created anyway and feed it to the AI, make sure that it takes the context out of it, depending on the information that we have, and also we have collected in real time, and tries to guide us towards the resolution, is something that is an immense opportunity. Of course, this also opens the door for full-time automation, but we are just exploring the levels of when will we actually what kind of interactions we will connect directly to the customers and have no interaction of agents, but there is always going to be the need of some human attention to some sort of problems. And even in those, again, the combination of AI and human brain power is again putting it to the square. So I prepared a short demo on this one as well, which I want to walk you through. So let me try to run it as well. So just for safety purposes, I created the video for this one as well, and let me run it quickly. All right, just one moment, and I'm almost there. All right, let me do the sharing. All right, Bridgett, can you see my screen?
I can, very well, thank you.
All right, good. So this indifferent of the application itself. So on the left side, we have the standard call controls. So in this case, it's a chat conversation, but you can as well imagine a real-time voice conversation, because again, real-time transcribing voice, you have just seen it, so it's not something of the future. So it works as well. So real-time voice conversations are as well scripted. And in this case, you can see, as I said, on the left side, the conversation with the customer, and on the right side, we have actually another chat opportunity for us to chat with our co-pilot, who is Mr. AI. So let's try to do that. So I just mute myself. Okay, good. So we see that on the right side. So we see that there's a problem with a customer who came through, and we can ask standard stuff, in which AI and large language models are really good. For example, summarizing the conversation, what happened until now. So if there was an interaction with an IVR or with a bot before, we can go back and see all of that. But maybe just for us to get in tune much faster, what we can do is just ask the bot to summarize this conversation. And yeah, we go through that, and then we realize, okay, that is what is it. And then we say, oh, it's about a debt letter actually. So what do I do in case of a debt letter? Maybe I just forgot my training, or this is something that doesn't happen so frequently. And then the bot is actually saying, well, before I investigate any debt letter, we need to actually collect some information from the customer, his social security ID and the transaction ID. So we see that the agent actually sent over a request from a customer to authenticate himself. Of course, in this case, it's a demo only, so we are asking for some information over a public channel, but in real time, also all this information can be also behind, of course, an authenticated wall. So we see, and then that information which was collected is being passed over to the AI co-pilot, and the co-pilot again says, okay, fine, this is really good for giving me the social security ID, but I need the transaction ID as well to find out what this debt letter is related to. In this case, we see we get the transaction ID passed, and now we will see a simulation. I will just stop it here. So we are trying in this demo to simulate to actually show two things. So in real time, what the customers, what the agents usually do in this case, they would go to a CRM application or a back office application, need to log in there, go through various screens and find out the information that is necessary for them. What we have done here is we have created a robotic flow, so basically an RPA flow, which dips in and executes all these steps on a virtual machine. So the agent doesn't see any of this, but it's basically, again, a virtual worker, another robot who actually executes all these steps one after each other. And after they are done, he retrieves only the relevant information, which is relevant for me in this conversation. So I will just continue here. And what you see right now is what the robot is doing. So this is not the agent. The robot is executing all these processes, entering the information, the few information that we have provided into SAP, and then retrieving the form, which is relevant for us, the fields from that form. And when the process is finished, formats it in a structure which is readable and understandable for us. This is where you can see it here. So you can see that the transaction reference number is this is related to a debt letter that shows that the invoice number and on which date and what the amount is, and it is being marked as unpaid. So really explaining that even to the agent in the background. So the agent has everything in his hand to actually provide that information to the customer without actually without actually running all those steps and executing all those steps. So really quickly, again, we have here two robot workers, one who is working instead of the agent, and the other one who is advising him to run through this process. And then I'll just continue with the demo itself. But then you see that this information, what we gathered right here, is then used by the agent. We could also, in this case, ask the Copilot, AI Copilot, can you please format me a communication that I should now use in this case to talk with the customer, and then that would also be a help. But in this case, the customer just got the information. He just copied some of the information, and we have a happy customer with all of the information here, and not sometimes as what the agent would try. They would try to convince the customer to do something which is maybe not relevant to the context at hand. So that's as much as I wanted to show regarding this agent Copilot. So what do you think about it, Bridgett?
Well, I mean, we talk a lot about first call resolution, and that's a great example of how the agents are supported when they're trying to help a customer. But you talked about bots. So let's stay on that subject for a minute. As we dive into the FAQ enhancement feature, can you talk about the importance of recognizing the challenges AI bots face in providing accurate responses to customers?
Yes, absolutely. So that's definitely something that I wanted to touch upon. So both, especially when we need bots to support us and help us. So we realize that there is a really important part here, that there is a specific knowledge that is necessary in order to be able to support us. So right now, what we have seen maybe in the general public is that AIs are now equipped to talk to us about things that they have been taught. So yes, they have been taught to read Shakespeare and talk like Shakespeare, or various similar things. But we have to teach them as well to answer answer any of the problems that we have that are specific to our industry, to the brand that we want to be supported. And so in order to do that, the basic is to have a knowledge base to support them. So when we talk about contact centers, so this is as well the basis that was, or that is still, the source for the agents to support the customers. So they would actually go into into a knowledge base, search in the knowledge base, look at the article, and then try to respond based on the article itself to the customer. And this is again a time-consuming process, and this is again something where AI and large language models can really enhance this process itself. So we still have, of course, a very big important thing to do is to collect the information and make that available to our agents and also AI. And that's where frequently asked question type of knowledge bases are really the basis of having the right information at the right place. Yeah. So through the advances of knowledge bases and AI it's as well, so a lot of a lot of tools are available for us to take what we have. So we don't need to start from scratch. We can take our existing knowledge bases, our existing articles, our existing documents, our existing web pages, and feed them into knowledge bases, into a knowledge base, and then make that knowledge base again available to AI to support us in various ways. So AI can support us as a bot, as a chatbot. So we have seen that also until now. So also until now, I think the bots and AI bots, especially in chat, they supported us by a specific article itself. So for chatbots, specific articles have been prepared and to make sure that they are concise and that they can be digested quickly, and they are specific to the medium itself of communication, or to the channel of communication. And again, so all of these things can be now simplified. So we can have just a single source, and then we can ask AI to provide us with a more concise format, maybe if we are communicating over chat, or a more detailed format if you're communicating over email, or again on a different way. So if you're communicating in voice, again a third type of format, and not just talking about the tone of the communication. So some brands like to communicate in in a very formal way. Some other ones like to communicate very informally with their customers, because that's part of the part of their brand and of their whole concept, how they build up their business. So all of these is really something where AI is really strong. So we should embrace where AI is strong, and we should embrace, of course, where humans are strong. So with this with this good collaboration, I think we can bring the best of breed, yeah, or best of both, and utilize both.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
ahead.
I was just going to say, we have some questions in the chat. If we could move over to a few questions. I want to let everyone know that if we do not get to your questions during this session, we will answer them via email. So don't be afraid to ask, and we will get to everyone's question. Viktor, the first question is, where is data stored? Tell us a little bit about data.
All right. So, well, one really important thing is, with AI and the newest AI models, they are definitely running from the cloud. But for example, for us, so our technologies work primarily in Asia, together with Microsoft. But as you know as well, so all of the cloud providers, so the infrastructure providers will have various region zones where they provide their infrastructure to be accessed from. So, for example, for us, we have servers which are placed in various data regions, and then based on our customers' needs, so we can make them be available from those regions. Whereas when it comes to data, so when we utilize some APIs from those leaders in AI, Gen AI technology. So sometimes we can choose, sometimes and then we can say whether that information is there. But definitely, so the data itself. So so when we work with our customers, we make sure that there is no data at rest stored somewhere where they don't want it to be stored. So that's what we differentiate between data at rest and data on the move itself. So while we do the processing, it might move through a server, but definitely what is really important that when we store any of this information, then the customers, they must actually know where that information is stored, and then we collaborate with our customers to make sure that that information is stored at the premises where the customers identify its need. So going back, just Bridgett, before thank you for this for this question. I want to back to the frequently asked questions and the knowledge base itself. I also prepared for that one a short demo. So maybe
okay.
I can just jump back to that. For this one I actually prepared a demo which is a real-time demo. So I hope we will be able to see it without the god of demo interfering.
Yeah, be great to see it.
All right, so it's very similar to the Copilot itself, but I will show you the process that happens before the Copilot itself happens. So let me share my screen. All right, so this is Geomant is one of the companies that I was also one of the founders of, and this is and I just placed the chat widget, a demo chat widget on its website. So what we will do is so what we will do is we will engage into a chat conversation. We will try to engage into a chat conversation with the brand. So a chatbot itself, a workflow, is guiding me through and trying to help me. So of course, in the beginning, we built our communication in such way that we want to authenticate the customer, because then we can provide better and more concise information to the customer. So I will use my favorite customer in this case. So it's Mike at Tyson.me. He's usually a very angry customer.
He's a great customer, isn't he?
He's a great customer. Yes. Can be very angry, but can be very helpful as
impatient.
well. Yeah. Impatient. Right. So again, I'll simulate the same problem that we had with the Copilot. So he's having some he's trying to communicate with a telecommunication company, and he received just a big bill, and he has no idea what it is about. So he wants to. He received that letter. So in this case, what we see is that he's actually prompted to a frequently asked question bot. In this case, what we are working with a standard machine intelligence bot. So so it is a little bit different from large language model bots, but still it will try to recognize various types of me asking a problem. So you don't need to train the knowledge base in a way to specify all the different questions, but it will try to with a certainty level, it will try to recognize what the problem is, and if this level is above a certain threshold that we configure, then it will match an article with that. So let's say I received a debt letter. Okay, so you see that with this communication, there is an article here, and it kind of gives him some information. Yeah, he can be sent a debt letter, what it actually means. But if you have, and we realize in this case, well, a debt letter is usually it's very sensitive thing. So maybe we want a human actually to support our customer in this case, because maybe he will be able to calm down Mike in this case. So we offer immediately in this case, our workflow has been built in such a case that we offer the escalation to an agent from this chat conversation itself. So we say, okay, we're going to escalate to an agent, and wow, he has actually been connected to Jake Paul. Well, that rings a bell. Let's try to see. Now we move to our agent. It's my alter ego, Jake Paul, on this case. You see the similar conversation like what happened before, what I demonstrated to you. But what I wanted to show you in this case is again that, for example, we are giving from the context itself, from the last. In this case, we are analyzing only the last few questions, so not the whole context itself. but only to the last few questions, and we're giving a few options. And the agent has the choice to select one of them. So there is even two different ways. One way is to just click on the response that the knowledge base gave us. It's a short response in this case, and modify it. The other one is just to click on an alternative option to immediately send it back. So if I would click on this arrow here, the question is immediately sent back. The other alternative is that it's a comfort message. I just get it. It gets pasted automatically for me in the response window. And another piece of AI that we have integrated here, which I mentioned to you before, is the possibility to enhance the reply itself. So this, until now, the first piece was with a machine learning algorithm picking the right article from a knowledge base. And here again, we say we can reach out to a large language model to actually enhance this response and rewrite it for us. So if we click on this one, we could actually adjust the tone, what I mentioned before. So we can adjust the tone to be friendly or to be more formal. Well, I guess with Mike, it's better to be more friendly. So you see, in this case, the AI is enhancing it and it's modifying it to a friendly type. So yeah, hi there. Just need a moment to look over the request. I'll be as speedy as possible. You can insert that response and then this is again, and then send it back in this format. So this is here I've shown very similar concepts bundled together to really enhance the experience and simplify the task of the agent. And yeah, in this case, they can just keep on communicating. So always the agent has always the confidence behind him, because there is loads of bots, loads of technology behind him to make sure that it doesn't escalate. So we hope that this conversation between Jake and Mike will not escalate. And but we will see on July. All right. All right. So
I'm so glad you showed that. That is really neat.
All right. So yeah. So that's what I wanted to show a little bit more. I think that's about my last demo that I wanted to do. Do we have something else in the some other questions in the chat that we see that maybe I can try to address?
Yeah, we have a really good one. What is the cost of AI?
All right. So that's really good, and I'm happy to hear about this question, because definitely one thing is that we have to be conscious that AI is not free. Although we see that for some consumers, a lot of technology providers are actually spending a lot of money to just advertise AI. Of course, for them, it's also not free, but yeah, so sometimes you receive a lot of stuff free, just with some making sure that the commercial behind is there, behind that is there. And we know that, for example, OpenAI as well in the background is of course making money on selling the APIs to all of us. And so we need to make sure that that's really important to because we usually show all these technologies and our customers really like them and the brands like them, but it definitely needs to be analyzed, because none of the customers are ready to open to sign a blank check, yeah, for AI, and that's really important, and that's why I think now, even until now, our industry has been put together in such a way that customers actually want to know that, okay, this is how much an agent costs, this is how much my technology costs, so I can actually calculate, and this is the load, this is how many agents I need to sort out my customer service. So I think we must continue to walk down the same path. So we must make sure that the technology is metered, and also AI is metered, and that's why I think there needs to be a healthy balance between humans and AI. Because, for example, for the real-time translation, so there is 3 technologies bundled one after each other. So it can happen that numbers that we until now paid for contact centers, for let's say for a contact center service subscription per month, it can be just by introducing translation for everybody all the time, and transcription for everybody, that this number just starts to be 5 times as much as it was before. And then, of course, this can still be okay if we calculate the benefits. So that's why we must introduce AI technology in a way in which we always, while we are introducing it, we are monitoring and metering. So what do we gain? How much does it cost? Because right now, also there is a difference between some technologies. Because, for example, I've shown until now a first technology which is machine learning. It also gives us great benefits. It is also AI, but it is definitely a fraction of the cost of the cutting edge technologies which are just being promoted right now. So we must make sure that we puzzle together our solution in a way where it is cost effective. It gives us the benefits that we want, and also make sure that we still run our customer service according to budget, because ultimately, well, sometimes we say customer service is a cost center. Sometimes we sell it. It's actually a possibility to sell and keep the customers as well. So I think it's a combination of both. So difficult question to ask, a difficult question to answer, but definitely yes, AI does cost, and there is nobody can provide really a strict answer that this is how much it will cost. But we need to look into the individual use case, business case, and then make sure to answer a lot of different questions, because some AI models are cheaper, some of them are more expensive. Sometimes we want the AI model to run on-prem. That's much more expensive than using it from the cloud, from an API. But sometimes, the different model is good enough for us. So there is a lot of questions, and that's why, one of the companies that I founded with, so Geomant, for example, is a partner in this journey. So it needs to be the use and the implementation of AI is a journey, and we are definitely there to support all our customers on this journey. And really, that's why I'm really happy to be part of the Mplus brand and group, because we can support this journey from the beginning, really from the people to the technology, to actually running the technology and bringing the best technology to those customers. So it's so we can really just close the whole circle. That's what I wanted to say. Does it make sense, Bridgett?
It does. It makes great sense. And we have another question. Going back to real-time translation, how does Buzzeasy's real-time translation module handle dialects in less common languages?
Yeah, so I mean, as you might have guessed, of course, so the best models and are actually the ones for the biggest languages, because that's where the biggest experience, and of course all of the tech companies invest the more, because that's where the return is the most. But yes, so we have tested the solution with really less common languages, especially me being a Hungarian and also knowing some really languages which are spoken by only a few million people. So we did test it with languages like that as well, and it is also amazing what can be done also in such a language which is spoken only by 15 million people. Or so yes, so it does work for smaller languages as well. And the interesting thing is, yes, so yeah, I have one of my colleagues is always bringing the example of Welsh. Yeah, Welsh is also English, but it is especially dialect. And yes, so even even the big brands like such Microsoft have invested into understanding and speaking that dialect. So yes, so there is also attention to detail there to speak all those small and interesting languages. And yes, usually translation is happening in 2 steps. So for now, I would still suggest, I mean the best, it is what it is, but the translation models usually work very really good into English and from English to the other language. So that's definitely English is an intermediate language. So Bridgett, that's I think that's the
only one I can speak. Good. So
that's good. So yeah. So but yeah, so but also then having an interim step is also good. So again, it needs to be evaluated. What is the use case? How important it is? Yes, definitely there can be some use cases where translation, we don't want translation. For example, in an insurance case where there's a death case and something needs to be arranged there, I'm sure you don't want translation to be up there. So it's a special. But there will always be cases where you want to speak to a human who speaks that language, and this was an extreme one. But so there is. It's a scale, so that definitely. So we will see. We will need to make this decision together with the brand itself, and yeah, and really where we want to reach. And the other thing, it is a journey.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for walking us through the use cases of AI shaping customer experiences, especially how technology helps resolve customer questions almost instantly. Buzzeasy has live language translation and suggested responses powered by AI. We can see how training times are reduced with live agent coaching. And the best part is, Buzzeasy is modular and sets on top of any platform. If you'd like to get a personalized demo or get some more information on how this tool can help your team or your vendors, please visit buzzeasy.com/contact-centers. That's buzzeasy.com/contact-centers. Thank you. Thank you, Viktor. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bridgett. Everybody have a nice day. Goodbye.